What if I told you that the bubonic plague was unactually the worst plague to ever hit medieval Europe? Would you believe me? What if I raised the stakes by saying that it wasn't even close? Well, too bad, because that's actually true. Buckle up, nerds, because today we're going medieval. It's the year 1340 and you've just moved to the big city. Maybe you were a farmer who sold your land for a shitload of money, and now you're re-looking to retire. Maybe you inherited your uncle's plumbing business and you're off to expand the family trade. Or maybe you're re-fleeing for your life from the king after stealing his daughter's hut and a few choice relics from the royal treasury. Whatever brings you to the greatest city in all of medieval England. Though, there's only one way to live, and that's broke. When people think of medieval cities, they usually picture soaring cathedrals and cobblestone streets. But when you're broke, the reality is much more grim. Welcome to the slums, buddy. Here at the bottom of society, life isn't so bad. Sure, your house might look like a goblin hoarded it, but at least you don't have to worry about pesky things like sanitation or nutrition. In these dank, overcrowded hovels, chamber pots are the height of luxury. So, get ready to sling some arrows, my friend, because you're gonna need them. It doesn't matter if you're filthy or smell like ass. Disease is still the great equalizer, and in the Middle Ages, there were plenty of opportunities to catch something nasty. Smallpox, tuberculosis, leprosy, the list goes on. Not to mention the newcomer, the bubonic plague, which has recently made its way over from Asia. The symptoms are hard to distinguish from other diseases. Fever, chills, weakness, and sure, those buboes under your armpits may be a bit alarming. But you've got plenty of time to make it to the apothecary before things get really bad. And then there's bread dust. Yep, that's right, chum. There's a new sheriff in town, and she's here to collect her pound of flesh. Literally. Bread dust. A fine particulate matter composed of pulverized human skin, hair, nails, and other assorted body parts. It's the #1 cause of respiratory illness and the leading cause of death among the nobility. Oh, and it's also everywhere. Rat and human corpses decompose in the streets. People rarely wash their hands, and everyone's clothes are several layers deep in filth. Even the fresh air coming through your window is contaminated with the souls of the dead. Because remember, unlike Rome, medieval cities weren't designed with aqueducts or running water. They were built right on top of the old Roman foundations, so literally everything you touch is covered in a thin layer of history. The good news is that life isn't all that different for the rich. Sure, they've got fancier houses and maybe an extra chicken in their diet, but they're still stuck dealing with the same sewage system, the same crumbling infrastructure, and the same rampant poverty. Plus, the higher you climb on the social rungs, the more likely you are to die from lead poisoning. And let's not forget, even if you avoid all that, there's still the small matter of being assassinated. Yeah, that's right. Medieval Europe was basically the Wild West, except with more syphilis and less thumbs. So, keep your head up, buttercup, because it could be the last one you ever see. So what's the lesson here? Don't be poor, especially in the Middle Ages. If you can't be rich, at least try not to die. But hey, even if you do, don't worry. There's always the afterlife. And according to Christian theology, it's basically heaven or hell, so win-win. As a kid, he always dreamed of becoming a famous YouTuber and spending his days making the most ridiculous videos imaginable. And now he spends his days doing exactly that.